Hiya! Welcome! So this is a vinyl community contest entry for a great channel I've recently discovered, although I've heard his name mentioned by other friends of mine within the VC and other channels that I watch, and because he started running this contest, that was a good kind of kick up the arse, if you will, to start checking him out. Really nice guy. I want to thank him for running this contest. I'm just going to enter this just to throw my hat in the ring, as it were. I'm talking about Sam St. John. He's been a member of the vinyl community on YouTube for 2 years now, and to celebrate that milestone, he's given away $30 in Amazon credit, and it's quite a simple contest this, just as well if I'm entering. No major theme or thread to it, but some interesting questions or requests, prompts if you will, and I've got some music items here to show you. So you know the prize, obviously it's worldwide, and I think he said he's going to run this until the 2nd of January, so depending on when my video goes out, it's probably going to be a bit under a month you've got before it closes. And while we're on the subject of contests, and Sam, I hope you don't mind me just giving my own a bit of a plug here, but if you've not entered the JB2K contest that I'm running, and that one is running until the 2nd of February, please do so. You've got under 2 months before it closes. I just wanted to give a reminder as we're talking about contests today, but enough of that. You can go and check out the link for that video, my JB2K contest announcement, in the description text box, and at the top of the description text box I'll leave a link to Sam St. John's contest as well. Please give him a sub. You don't have to be a subscriber to enter, he does say, but I think it's only right and polite that if you're going to enter someone's contest on YouTube, you give them a subscription before you even start. With that being said, let me begin with these answers to Sam St. John's prompts. And the first one he asked is for people to show a favourite box set of theirs. Now this could be records, it could be CDs. I suppose theoretically, although he didn't say, but I'm assuming he wouldn't mind, as I don't think he's going to penalise anybody. It can probably even mean DVD and Blu-ray. I mean, I've got a few of them, but I decided I would stick to music for my answers, although I've got a variety of formats here. I think this is probably my favourite box set. It's probably not the one I'd listen to the most out of my collection, simply for how much stuff is in it, and you know, just the way it is, but I do love my Beatles singles collection. Not a rare piece by any stretch. I mean, it was expensive, for me expensive anyway, when I got this a couple of years or so back, but I just think this is a beautiful item, and anyone particularly like me who's a massive Beatles fan but had really only been collecting the albums, to get a box set all full of their entire 7-inch single collection, including a bonus Freezer Bird Real Love double A-side single. Fantastic. I'm not going to get it open and start showing it again. I have done a video unboxing this, and that's going to be down somewhere in my music collecting playlist if you do want to have a look and see this in a bit more detail. But that's my answer for my favourite, or one of my favourite box sets, the Beatles singles collection. Sam's next request was to show an album or some sort of music release. It doesn't have to be an album, it doesn't have to be on vinyl, as you know, but to show something from which you've seen the act live in concert. And there was only one I could choose from here. Well, there's more than one, but for me personally, I had to pick this one again, and I think I've shown this in either a contest or a thread before, but I had to choose the album that I was actually at for the concert. It is a bootleg. Hopefully that doesn't get me disqualified. Sam, I'll leave that up to you, but I'm going to show the New Order gig from December 2015 at Wolverhampton Civic Hall. I was there. Yeah, if you hear any crowd noise on this, of course you'll hear crowd noise on it. It's a live recording. Maybe I'll be in there somewhere. Probably not. I've talked about how much this gig in particular meant to me. To finally be able to see New Order, my favourite band for pretty much nearly all my life, really. Finally got to see them live in 2015 at Wolverhampton, and when I saw that I was able to get this bootleg CD about a year or so later, it's actually a 2 CD set. Of course I wasn't going to pass that up, and I was collecting New Order live bootleg CDs anyway. Had to show this one again. Wolverhampton Civic Hall, 2015, New Order. What a night. The next request is to show an album or some sort of release that you've still got sealed. Now, I listen to almost everything that I buy, even if it's something really expensive that I should really keep in a vault somewhere so that it remains free of fingerprints and dust and stuff. But there is one thing I was able to find that I've never listened to, and I've not owned it that long, a few months now. I did show it in a Records Roundup video a few months back, and I did say I'm unlikely to ever unseal this, and so far I've kept to my word. It's this Record Store Day limited edition 12-inch single from Rammstein, which has the Scooter remix of Pussy on the side A, and the Pet Shop Boys remix, or one of the Pet Shop Boys mixes I should say, of Mind Tile on side B. So what Record Store Day was this? 2014 this was. This was a lot of money, including postage. There wasn't much change out of £100. And that's not even the most expensive Record Store Day release from Rammstein. There's one from a couple of years or so before that, a 7-inch single that goes for multiples of hundreds of pounds. One day I might open it and play it just to say, yeah, I've listened to everything that's in my collection, but I just can't bring myself to do it yet. It's just too rare for me, this, and I just want to keep it as nice as possible because it's only a 12-inch single and I paid over £90 for it. But I'm so glad I got it. And I don't think I'm going to ever get the other Rammstein Record Store Day release that came out before this one, unless someone somewhere makes a mistake and lists it on eBay at like a fraction of its value. Of course, it's debatable whether such things should have such high values, as it's just a collector's market inflating things, but I won't go on about that now. But there we are, the Rammstein Pussy and Mind Tile single from 2014. The penultimate request from Sam St. John is to show an album or a release that you've got that's autographed. And fortunately, a fairly recent pickup for me, I was able to show this. In fact, there was another one that I almost picked because they're both autographed, but I thought I'd pick this one instead simply because the autograph is on the front of the cover. And it's Boomerang by Betty Boo. This is a really great pop album, by the way. If you're into your pop music, particularly that with an 80s and early 90s flair like I am, then I do highly recommend that you give this a shot. Betty Boo's first album in 30 years, Boomerang. And it's like she's not aged, and it's like she's never been away. And there we can see, just to prove, she did sign a load of copies that were available for pre-order. There's Betty Boo's signature. The other album that I could have chose for this, that I know is autographed, albeit on an insert in the inside, is The Fool and the Scorpion by Sharon Corr. But I did show that on, I think that was maybe not my last Records Roundup, or maybe even not the one before that, but it was a recent one from last month anyway. So Betty Boo, Boomerang, autographed edition. Love it. Highly recommend that. I recommend most stuff that I've got, apart from the last thing actually. I'm not going to recommend that, you'll see why in a sec. So the final prompt, the final request from Sam is to show something, a release that you've only listened to once. Now, I'd have a lot to choose from here, especially with like new releases that I've only recently got. I do listen to everything I've got repeatedly, but it does take a lot of time, obviously, especially when you're building up a record collection and a general music collection over time, and you've not got enough hours in the day just to sit and listen to the same album repeatedly. So I thought I want to pick one where I've got it, I bought it, I listened to it, and I've got no intention, I've got no desire to ever listen to it again. And there was a couple, maybe a handful that I could have chose, but I thought I'd go with this one, as I don't think I've shown this on the channel in many years. It's the mini disc edition of the album Big Willie Style by Will Smith. I just didn't think this was very good. I got it because it was cheap, or cheapish, about as cheap as you can get a mini disc. Much as I love mini disc collecting, and I'd not get rid of it unless someone offered me stupid X amount of money. You know, it's part of my mini disc collection and I'm glad I've got it, but I just don't rate this album at all, really. It's not the worst album I've got, I'll admit, but I just thought I'd show this one, as if I never hear this again, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it at all. I'm trying to have a look, see if there's anything on here that I could actually recommend. Men in Black's on it, which is alright. It's got a good sample, Forget-Me-Nots, hasn't it? But yeah, I'm not bothered. Will Smith, Big Willie Style, the mini disc version. It's for the collection, it's staying in the collection. I've heard it once and that's more than enough really. So there we are. Thank you once again, Sam St. John. Hope you enjoyed this video, Sam, and I hope everyone who watched this enjoyed my contest entry. I want to say special thanks, as always, to my wonderful subscribers and my generous patrons. All my usual links are, of course, down in the description text box, as well as a link to Sam's contest, and then below that you will also see the link to my hashtag JB2K contest as well, that I'm running until February the 2nd. But I'm going to go now. Might stick Betty Boo on, actually. That'd be quite a nice thing to listen to on this cold December afternoon. Or perhaps maybe I will totally go against everything I've just said and put Will Smith. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm nothing if not honest and full of integrity, you know. And I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for my next contest entry and vinyl community video. Cheers, everyone. See ya!